Danielle, hello. Lovely to meet you. How
Hi,
you
nice to
doing?
meet
You all
you.
right?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How about you?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. It's all a bit of a rush today, but I'm fine. And congratulations on the film.
Thank
First saw you in Patty Cakes, of course.
you.
And the thing that strikes me about all your work is that you never seem to play the same sort of role twice. Is that deliberate? And I wondered, when you're reading a script, what makes a role jump up off the page for you and make you go, "Oh God, yeah, I've got to play that one."
Yeah, you're kind of right. It is kind of on purpose. I think I'm just really drawn to getting to try different things. And when I read a script and the character is something I've never done before, I'm like, I want to try it. I have to try it. That's exciting to me because it's something that is terrifying. It's outside of your wheelhouse, maybe, but at the same time, it's a whole new experience. And that's really exciting. So that definitely appeals to me. And I think what jumps out on a page when I read a script, it is something new or something different, or it's just something that like really affects me and touches me, um, or it's just something that is super cool or different, or it's a genre I haven't done before. That's always really exciting. So
So, what was it about Lillian Roxon then? I mean, she's, I assume, a bit older than you to start with. Does that
she
make a
is.
difference?
Um, yes and no. Yes, it definitely does. But I think that one of it, everyone said she was kind of just always so full of life. Like she never seemed her age. She never looked her age. She was about 10 years older than everyone she hung out with, but no one could ever tell. So it was like she was 10 years older, but she really like embodied the essence of someone 10 years younger than her, which is what I kind of was. So that wasn't as scary. I think when I read about Lillian, I was like, this woman is far too cool to for me to play. She is just a force of nature. And she has such a fascinating story. We only got into a little bit of it, but she really kind of led an incredible life. And that is that was really cool to kind of just be able to touch on and play. And I think what really appealed to me was just how incredible she was, how confident she was, how she could walk into a room and dominate, how the script like really affected me as well. That was another thing that really drew me to it. It was just reading the liner notes at the end of the film that she wrote for Helen, that kind of just like had me in tears. And I was like, okay, yeah, okay.
So, is this the first time that you've played a real person? I mean, I assume that that sort of places additional demands on you in terms of your acting.
It does. It's not the first time. I have played a real person in Skin.
Yes, of course.
So
Yes.
and she is, you know, still with us today. So that was kind of terrifying because I was like, someone's gonna see this. That's a little scary. I think with Lillian, it was definitely scary knowing that you're playing someone real. Um, and I think there was a little bit of the pressure off knowing that she wasn't going to see it, just in the sense that there wasn't like video footage of how she moved, and there wasn't quite the same amount of footage. So I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this perfectly. And so you have to take some kind of creative liberation there. And that's a little bit terrifying as well, though, because then after I'd filmed the movie, I kept meeting people that were like, I knew Lillian. I was like, what? Wait, you knew Lillian? Oh no, I'm terrified. I probably did a terrible job. And then I was like, why did I consider this more before? Yeah, it's funny how you just get in your head about that.
And the friendship between her and Helen in the film, I mean, you could say in a sense that it's kind of like the other love story, the first one, of course, being between Helen and her husband.
Yeah.
How would you describe their relationship?
I think it's one of those special relationships, I think. I mean, I moved halfway across the world to pursue my dream as well when I was 18. So I understand how terrifying it is just picking up and moving halfway across the world and not knowing anyone and not knowing what to do. And one of the girl I moved in with, she was an Australian, and she had lived away from home before. I'd never lived away from home before. She helped me learn how to like pay my bills and just things like that. And having someone that is there to just welcome you and be like, here, I'm going to help you figure it out and it's okay, is monumental. It's game changing. And that girl is still one of my absolute best friends to this day, 10 years on, because there's a bond there that can't be broken, because when you are completely lost, there's someone to just take you in. And that's an incredible feeling. And I really felt that when I was reading the script, and I was like, okay, I love that.
I think everybody needs a friend like that at some stage.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely.
Had you actually come across Helen Reddy's music before you were approached about the film? Did you know anything about her?
I didn't really know about her, but I know the song I Am Woman, of course, because I think who doesn't know that song? Like, I grew up with that song being so relevant and famous and prevalent in my life. And I didn't even know really what it was about. I was just like, I am woman, I am invincible. Okay, that means I'm a strong woman. I knew that much. That was about it. But I didn't know the story behind it. I didn't know the story behind Helen. I had no idea she was Australian also, which is terrible to say, being an Australian. And I think that it was a really important story to tell, because I was like, this song has affected so many people. It has genuinely just like created kind of like somewhat of a little bit of a revolution in people. It's played at like women's marches, you know what I mean? It's a song that inspires people, and no one knows the story behind it. And so I think that it was really nice to be able to tell that story.
I thought the film created the 1970s rather well. The fact that there were no mobile phones, you were having to use typewriters, and everybody smoked. I mean, that really sort of fuggy newspaper office where Lillian worked was just awful, but it created it really well. And I wondered how it felt for you to sort of go back in time like that.
You know, it was really funny because we filmed in Australia and we were in like an office building kind of in the city. It felt nothing like being outside of that room. I was like, we're in just like modern day Australia right now. And then they were like, okay, we've set up the set, so you go in there. I walked in there and I was like, I am in an entirely other world. How did you do this? It was just like this one little office block at the back of the building.
Its own.
Yeah, it was insane. It was like its own little world in there. I was like, wow, you guys did a good job. This is not what I expected to walk into right now. It's like you literally walk through a door and you just entered 50 years ago. It was crazy. But I think that just gives so much credit to our DP and like our set designers. They did such an incredible job, because I don't know how they made that movie look like we were in, you know, 1960s, 1970s New York City and Los Angeles, because we were in 2018 Australia, like Sydney, Australia, and they really did an amazing job of recreating that world.
So, all things being equal, we should be seeing you next in French Exit. Although I don't know when we're going to get it in the UK, because everything is up in the air, like everywhere else. Whet our appetites a little bit about it. Tell us what the film's about, what your role is.
French Exit is, I'm wondering how much I'm allowed to say. I know it's based on a book, so there's already information out there. But I play Madeline, and she is a medium, which was really fun to play. And it's
different again.
Yes, it is definitely different. And it's an odd dot comedy, I would say, is the best way to describe it. And that was kind of really what appealed to me. I was reading the script and I was like, this is so odd. Like, the humor is so unique. And I love that kind of offbeat humor. So I thought it was just like such a fun, cool, different project from anything I'd done. And I really, really liked our director, Azza. Like, I met with him for lunch, and then I had an audition with him, and it was just cool to kind of get to explore it with him. It was really nice to try and actually figure out the character. So that was really fun. So yeah, that should be coming out soon. I know it comes out at a film festival this week, I think.
It does.
Yeah.
So, well, hopefully we'll get it soon in the UK, because we
I
can
hope so.
do with the comedy. We really could. Danielle, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And thank you very much for the film as well.
You. Thanks.
You take care.
You too.